Man, I gotta shorten that intro a little bit because that's a long, long time. It's Sunday morning, man. It's 9 o'clock. We changed it from 10 to 11 to 9 to I don't know 10:30 or so. This is the Fantasy Countdown brought to you by United Collision Care Center. Go see the guys over at United Collision Care Center for your paint and body needs. They'll take you up there. I look like I just woke up, but I didn't. My hair is just not acting right with me today, so I'm gonna go with the toupee look today this morning. Joined as always by Trey Collis, Coach Geo, Will Haverlim, the Fantasy Countdown powered by Project Spurs, DraftKings, and Buster.com. We'll get you those promo codes here in a minute. Guys, we've got a week 3 slate all ready to go. I mean, we've got a ton of games to get to here, give you some fantasy advice, daily fantasy advice. You may not want to take my advice because all of my teams suck right now. I'm probably 2-0 in maybe 4 leagues out of the whole 19 that I'm in. So even in Geo's league, I play Coach Geo today in his league, and let's hope I get that W. I'm favored by 2 points right now. I think last time I checked. So
I need a Darren Waller sighting today.
no, I need Derek Carr to not throw Darren Waller.
How about
That's
them
gonna
Raiders?
happen.
How about
That's
them
gonna
Raiders,
happen.
right? How about them Raiders, man?
Oh man, hey, Raiders are on a tear, dude. I'll tell you that much. They're on a good tear. We talked about them this past Wednesday. So
Well, no, I talked about him. Everybody
you,
else, I
you would
believe.
have been happy for me on Wednesday because I took the Rams over the Bucks. I'm
He
becoming
did.
a Rams fan.
He's jinxing us.
No,
Rudy's
I'm
doing
not.
this on purpose so he can say "Rest in peace, Rams" this afternoon. That's
Hey,
what it's
they're
all
a part of
the
my
plan.
they're a part of my parlay today. I took them with 1.5. I took them in the 1.5. So I mean, they're-
I'm probably going to add them to my parlay as well in a few.
yeah, but you definitely have to, man. Have to. Speaking of parlays, if you're gonna do anything with a parlay, go to Buster.com. Use our link www.buster.com/sweep the league. There's a promo code that works till September 30th. Use promo code NFL100FP. They'll match your deposit from a minimum of $100. Last but not least, DraftKings. It's fantasy football day. Use DraftKings. Go to the DraftKings app website. Sign up today. Use that promo code TBP and get your account ready because it's fantasy football season and we are ready to get into the games. We're going to start off here first. Bengals and Steelers. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Johnson was ruled out, wide receiver for the Steelers for this game. Steelers aren't looking really great fantasy wise. I mean, Najee Harris is probably one of your better plays today for the Bengals. I mean, Joe Burrow had a pretty bad weekend last week, but he still was able to manage to give you some fantasy value there. I like Joe Burrow today in this competition. I, the one person I'm thinking about is T. Higgins. I think is T. Higgins ruled out. I was trying to look for that this morning. If somebody could find that for me, I think T. Higgins was ruled
Says
out.
he's doubtful
Doubtful. Okay, so he's more than likely not going to play.
currently.
Which means Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase are probably going to be big plays today. Also, maybe Joe Mixon's going to get some looks today, especially catching out of the backfield. Starting off, Bengals Steelers fantasy values for Bengals Steelers. Since Trey's taking a nap, we're going to start with Coach Gio.
I'm taking a nap. It's the
Bengals.
lighting.
It's been a long day, man.
All right, Gio, give us some quick value on fantasy
Jesus
for
Christ.
Bengals.
Well, the Bengals last week, they didn't look too good here in Chicago. I mean, they just looked out of sync, couldn't get anything really going until that last part of the game because of some interceptions. But for fantasy football purposes, obviously Chase, depending on how you're at, you're probably going to start him. And Tyler Boyd, I mean, he hasn't done much the past 2 games. But in theory, it could be a big game for him. I think he can kind of get that passing game going. And then also Mixon, I mean, you drafted him within the first 3 rounds, so you're probably starting him this week. I don't love the matchup this week against the Steelers, but nonetheless, you're going to tot him out there and just hope that he gets going. And for Pittsburgh side with Johnson out, obviously Chase Claypool is a guy you're probably going to throw out there. And then Najee Harris, I'm not sure what's going on there. They seem to not be running the football. He's getting volume though, right? So he's getting the amount of workload. That's what you love to see. A little concern. He should get going this week against the Bengals. Though I think the Bengals defense has definitely improved over the last few years. And after Harris, I mean, you're probably not starting Ben Roethlisberger. Give me Claypool, and I don't know if you want to go with the other guy, which I forgot his name. Is it
Juju.
Washington?
Juju.
No,
Juju's the other guy.
Oh, Washington's the other guy. You're thinking of Washington.
James
I think
Washington's their
I
fourth.
think they're going to try to run the. I think they might try to run a lot today. But give me Chase Claypool. I think he can get pretty deep today. Yeah, I mean,
Jamar Chase is probably going to be able to get some deep looks today. There's no doubt about that.
well, I mean, Henry Ruggs sighting last week with the Raiders.
Exactly
I
what I
talked
was
bad
gonna
about
say.
the guy, and then he gets going. But yeah, so not the greatest fantasy purpose game.
Yeah, Trey, give me some fantasy value on the Bengals and Steelers. We got anything right here for this game?
Man, I was gonna say Jamar Chase just because what I don't think the Steelers secondary can. From what I saw from Ruggs last week with the Raiders, I think Chase has an opportunity to beat him over the top quite a bit of times today. That's the only one. I think Joe Nixon. I think he's going to be a sleeper today. I think that he's going to have some good fantasy, but I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, but I think that he's going to get some very good valuable points. I just don't trust that. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh. I know Ben Roethlisberger is kind of hurt right now. You don't know how valuable he's going to be. So I don't know how valuable play is for the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense because you don't know how good – because we all know how good their situation is on the backup side of the things in Pittsburgh. So I don't know of anyone to touch in Pittsburgh offense. Maybe Chase Claypool, but I don't trust that with them. Maybe if you're in if you need a wide receiver, Chase Claypool, but I would definitely do Jamar Chase. I think Boyd would have to be Higgins would be good. Not Boyd. Higgins would be good today. So
If he plays,
I think all the way.
he's doubtful.
Not Higgins, Boyd. Whoever. I'm confused.
See, I told you Trace went to sleep.
Dude, it's been a long week, man. But anyway, any wide receiver, those two wide receivers for the Bengals. That's who I definitely would play. I wouldn't play any defenses in this one though.
I mean, I think a really big play in this game for me. I mean, you got the obvious with Burrow. You've got Jamar Chase. Those are the obvious. Najee Harris on the other side of the ball. I really think this is a day we see Tyler Boyd make a lot of plays because people are kind of sleeping on him. So I've got Tyler in a few leagues. I don't think I'm going to put him in some of these leagues, but I like Tyler.
Oh, I mean, you're telling everyone to start him, but you're not going to start him, Rudy?
Well, in a lot of my leagues, I have
He's in
the same
100
team. I've got
leagues.
like Diggs, Adams, Metcalf. I mean, I've got loaded wide receivers. So I mean, he's going to be. This is where I think he breaks out for that game. For a game here.
It could be the week. I think with the team trying to maybe get this passing game going with Higgins probably out, I think Boyd should be able to step in, and he's had some big games over the past few years.
Speaking of big games, we're moving on. We're going to start with Will Haverland because I'm giving him Falcons and Giants. This is the game of the
You love me.
Man, that's the best game of the year.
Falcons and Giants. Now, Falcon wise, I mean, I will keep saying Matt Ryan is a great play today, even though I wouldn't play him at all. I mean, whether it would be fantasy or reality, I won't play him at all. But for the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, Kyle Pitts is probably going to be a decent start here. No Russell Gage. I mean, that's fine. But, I mean, Calvin Ridley's probably going to be a decent play here. Giants-wise, Gio, I'm going to go to Will first, but I want you to know that my boy Danny Dimes is starting in 4 of my leagues today. I picked him up off the waiver wire.
Well, he's playing particularly well fantasy-wise.
He's QB4.
It's just his team is not winning. So
yeah. He's actually a really good fantasy play this year. I mean, you may not think, oh, the Giants, they're terrible, but he also gets a weapon back today in Evan Ingram, even though he's not much.
They always hurt,
years,
drops passes.
I understand.
That's
Not
a
good
guy
since
that I
his
just,
rookie year.
I just
I
stay away
understand.
from Evan Ingram. I don't even look his way anymore.
Will I get you guys
unless
to
he's playing
apologize
the
on
Cowboys. Unless he's playing the Cowboys.
Will I get you guys to apologize on Evan Ingram has a big day?
No,
I didn't say anything.
absolutely not.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
maybe he's due for one eventually. I mean, he doesn't do anything.
so is Matt Ryan, right? It ain't gonna
That
happen
was
here.
Saquon, but
I
you
thought
know,
Matt Ryan played particularly well until those last few drives that it just. Hey, you know what? The Falcons were actually in that game, by the way, into the fourth quarter. So
Were
my
they?
pick wasn't all that bad. It wasn't
didn't
all.
win either. It didn't hit
Yeah,
either.
I didn't win any money, but yeah.
So, I mean, the thing with the Giants is this is a pretty good game for Daniel Jones. I mean, you've got Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley is going to have a decent game, I believe, as well. I've got him in a few of the lineups as well. The, we saw what happened on the sideline between Galladay and Jones. Is that more smokescreen than anything? I think it is. I think actually Galladay has a pretty damn good day today. We're going to start off with Will Haverland here. Got some guys in the comments. Good morning, Wesley Perkins. He's a fellow Two Shots podcast host on the show there.
Isn't Wesley a Texas Tech fan?
Wesley is a Texas Tech fan. He is still sitting on ice to cool off that ass beating that they got yesterday from the Longhorns.
Sorry, Wesley.
The man behind the glass,
I'm
Chris
not.
Gallagher, says, I hope you guys mentioned last Wednesday that I'm ahead in our pick league. Yeah, actually, Chris is ahead in the pick.
I'm dead last, baby.
Congrats on that.
I don't think I made any picks last week, and I should have because I had like all the upsets.
Going back to Falcons and Giants, Will, give us the fantasy value for the Falcons and Giants here.
I mean, I think Daniel Jones still has he's going to continue his season, especially against the Falcons. I mean, it's the Falcons. His 0-2, two teams that are 0-2. I mean, I think Mike Davis is going to have a game. I mean, Daniel Jones is leading the team in rushing. I mean, come on. They need to – they're taking their time trying to get Saquon going. He got a little bit more volume last week. He looked better. They're not even using Booker in rushing that much. I mean, he's in there, but I think they always use him on passing plays. I think Atlanta's going to try to make him pass the ball more, honestly, in my opinion. I think they're going to make Daniel Jones show who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan probably going to have a pretty good day. I mean, Giants defense is good, but I think Ryan can expose them with some of his weapons. I think they're going to try to get, like you said, Pitts going. He is their big future and their big draft pick, and he's looked average at best.
He is average. Right now, he's average because he's going to be average as long as he's got Matt Ryan throwing him the ball. So, I mean, that's a guaranteed thing right there. All right, I'm going to either let Gio or Trey handle this because even Richie Cardenas in here, good friend of mine, says Matt Ryan is awful. Matt Ryan is awful. Let's be real. Matt Ryan is awful. One of you guys give me, and this is where I like the Falcon and Giants play. Daily fantasy. Screw your fantasy teams. There's got to be some daily fantasy value in this game. So you're probably going to get Danny Dimes relatively cheap on the QBR, which I'm going to bring it up right now. But what other daily fantasy plays? I mean, do you take a chance? And all jokes aside, do you take a chance on an Evan Ingram in this game because of his value, which I'm going to get right now? But what other daily fantasy plays do you see in this game? Because this game has more daily fantasy value than anything else.
How about Cordero Patterson?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy had two touchdowns. Did anybody see that video of a guy who was just cursing out the other guy in a fantasy league because he's like, how the heck do you pick up Cordero Patterson and you start him and you win the game? Like, Cordero Patterson could be a sneaky play this week. Falcons defense, we saw what they did last week. It's going to be a free-for-all. I like the Galladay play this week. I really like it. The Falcons secondary is abysmal, to say the least, and they're going to have a tough time with all those receivers there. And maybe is it James Toney, Rudy, the receiver from the Giants? Is that his name? Kadarius Toney, which, by the way, was a much part of jokes last week. He didn't do anything in that game. Give me Galladay, Jones. I think if you can get him in fantasy for this week, definitely start him. I think
he's 5,800 right now. Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Daniel Jones.
And he's averaging 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, I know. And for the Falcons, for fantasy purposes, I mean, Mike Davis. I mean, people drafted him particularly within the first few rounds, right, Rudy? I think.
I think I got him in the fourth,
highly drafted,
fourth round. Russell Gage is out. Calvin Ridley. Maybe we see a big sighting from him this week. Though he's probably going to be on James Bradbury, one of the best corners of the Giants. So, and Kyle Pitts, young. Can we get him going? I mean, Arthur Smith, the guy with potentially two last names. I don't know. Like, can he get him the ball? I mean, I don't have him in any leagues, but I'm just saying.
I do.
Can he get the ball? Figure out a way to get him the ball. Anyway,
They gotta they gotta try something. They
give me
really
the
do.
Giants here.
Oh my god!
I don't think I'm going to be able to pick the Falcons all week. I mean, for the entire year, but
They're gonna win one game. I don't know which one, but they're gonna win one game. It's
they're
probably gonna
probably
be.
it's probably going to
Buccaneers.
be it's probably going to be at home
Buccaneers.
against Tampa. Watch it. It's going to be some weird game.
It is. It is. Weird game coming up
Oh.
here because this is a game that I've got a lot of trouble with. I'm going to start with Trey on this one. Washington and Buffalo. Now,
Ooh,
this
no.
is a game where I have trouble when it comes to fantasy. You don't get a whole lot of Antonio Gibson, but this is a game where Antonio Gibson could blossom in. Terry McLaurin's been on a tear. You got Taylor Haneke there. Basically he's getting it done per se. He's not getting put up stupid numbers, but he's getting it done per se. I like the plays for Washington, but what scares me is could this defense, which hasn't been here for 2 weeks already. I mean, let's be obvious. The defense for the past 2 weeks has been terrible for Washington. It's one of the better defenses in the league. Is this where the defense gives Josh Allen trouble? I mean, you think, in my opinion, coming in, this is where Devin Singletary probably makes a ton more sense running the ball than Josh Allen, having Josh Allen get out of the pocket, because you've got that quick defensive line in Washington. They're young. This is where I feel we don't see Josh Allen get out of the pocket a whole lot. This is where we see a lot of Zach Moss, a lot of Devin Singletary. But my question is, I'm going to start with Trey on this. Stephon Diggs, can we see a game where he doesn't have great numbers this game? Maybe 6 catches for 70 and no touchdowns. I mean, this is something where I'm kind of wondering if we see a lame game here from Diggs.
No, I'm all buying in on Diggs today. I think that Washington defense, I don't know what's going on with them, but they don't look as good as they were last year. I think being at home, I think it's going to help them out. I think Diggs is going to have over 100 yards receiving, maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. I just have that gut feeling in my gut right now that Diggs is going to show out. The Bills I think that loss to Pittsburgh first week woke up the Bills early this season. I think they're on a roll. But you're right about Zach Moss. I think you're right about Singletary. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, but that's going to open up the play action pass to Diggs and those other wide receivers. I think Josh Allen's going to get out on a couple runs. But on the Washington side, I just don't see any value just because I think that Bills defense is for real. I think they're woken back up. I think they're back to being the old Bills defense. I think being at home is going to help. Maybe play Gibson, maybe play McLaurin, but I just don't trust Heineke, whatever you say his last name. I don't think he's going to have 2 good games in a row. I gave me the Bills all day in this one, but I think all the Bills, Zach Moss, Singletary, be good running backs. Either one, I think they're both going to share the buttload of carries for the Buffalo Bills team today. And I think Diggs, that's going to open up the play action pass, and for Diggs and other wide receivers, because Diggs can go inside, he can go outside, he can beat you over the top, he can do a lot of different things. He's just not one-dimensional wide receiver. So I think that Diggs, I honestly think Diggs is going to have a good day today. And honestly, I think I'm just saying that because I'm a Cowboy fan and I want them to lose. So Cowboys can be first place after Monday night.
So there's a method to his madness.
There is.
There is.
But the Cowboys will probably lose Monday night, though. But
There always is, man. Hey, so we'll come into Washington and Buffalo here. Diggs is my biggest concern in this game right here. But Trace kind of made it seem like, okay, I think if you were able to keep Josh Allen in the pocket, obviously he's going to make some plays there too. But on the Washington side, I mean, Antonio Gibson has to get going at some point. I mean, we've got to get more Antonio Gibson here. I think this is possibly a game because I do like the secondary for Buffalo. I think this is a game we could see Antonio Gibson get into the end zone not once, but possibly twice.
I think Washington's going to revert back and go back to old school football, ground and pound. They're going to give the ball to Gibson a lot, try to get him going. I mean, it'll be one of those let's play defense and rely on our defense and run the ball. Dump passes, short passes. I think Logan Thomas is going to have a good game with Heineke in Buffalo. They're going to try to play this ground and pound game. Diggs is averaging 6 catches and 70 yards a game right now. I know he had a bad game the first week, but average is an average. you're asking if that's what's going to happen. It's a possibility. But I think this is going to be a big defensive game and a big running game, honestly. So look at like Gibson, Singletary, Moss, those type of guys. I think Washington is definitely going to try to throw it over the top, play action fakes to McLaurin because he's playing so well. But I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of running.
But here's the issue I have with a lot of running, what you just said, though, real quick. You can run, it's all good and well, but if you have to play catch up if the Bills are scoring, you know what I mean? You can't really run if you're behind. And I think that's what's going to happen today.
But you got to get up. You got to be able to get up within, 2 scores, 3 scores for that to happen. I mean, look at Tennessee. They're down and they're still going to run the ball. I think that's what they're going to try to do.
That's Henry, though, dude. Henry's running play is better than anyone's passing play in the fourth quarter.
That game was a shootout at the end, but they still ran the ball.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I mean, if Washington gets the ball first and they're going to run the ball and eat the clock up and then rely on their defense, that's the best offense is running the ball and keeping the clock, right? I mean, Buffalo can score quick. Buffalo can score quick, but are they going to? They've been a little sluggish.
So.
I mean, Miami was Miami. They were hurt.
Well, Rudy, you're saying that. You're saying that because you picked Washington to win the division and you need this game.
Oh no! I definitely see Buffalo winning this game. I just don't think it's like. I think when we're talking, fantasy wise, I think I was going to say the Skins. I think Washington slows the game down a lot, and that's what's going to affect Buffalo in this game. Because Buffalo can be a high-powered offense. We've seen them score really, really fast. But I think with Washington, they're going to keep this game slow, like turtle slow. It's going to be something where, they're going to ground and pound the ball. They're going to run the ball. That's why I say I think Antonio Gibson's a really good play in this game. Kind of keep Josh Allen off the field is what it's going to kind of be like. Something that the Cowboys should have done in week 1 against Tampa Bay. But we're not going to go back and relive those days, right? Moving right along. Trace
Higgins. No, not T. Higgins. It's just officially been ruled out for today.
Yeah, he's ruled out. That's why I took Tyler Boyd in my daily fantasy right now. Bears and Browns. Okay, so the cat's out of the bag. It's been out of the bag for a while. Justin Fields is starting today. The Red Rifle, and we're not talking about Will Haverland. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, he's out with injury today.
Let's talk about the real player that's playing today.
I've got Fields in all few of my leagues that I've got. I've got a super flex league where I have to play 2 quarterbacks. I've got him in there today. I mean, and he's going up against an opponent where I think he can actually not dominate, but put up some pretty damn good stats against Cleveland. I mean, they were getting eaten up by Tyrod Taylor before he went out. I mean, they have trouble against running quarterbacks. And last time I checked, Fields is a running QB. So I am actually kind of all in today on Fields to have a field day against the Browns. Also, David Montgomery is another sneaky play that I like today for Chicago. I mean, Allen Robinson, I think, is going to have a decent day. This is a game where I can kind of see Darnell Mooney get a touchdown in. We're talking about on the other side of the ball with Cleveland. I mean, guys, I'm not really sold on Baker Mayfield right now. I drafted him in a couple of leagues. I can't get behind Baker right now. OBJ should be back today, but they end up losing Jarvis Landry. The only play on Cleveland right now is Nick Chubb. I would even stay away from Kareem Hunt right now. I mean, Nick Chubb seems to be the only play. Gio, Bears, Browns. What do you got on this game, man?
Man, I think this is a toss-up. I mean, the Bears are coming in here. A big win against the Bengals last week. Their defense played well after that week 1 debacle against the Rams. And then you go look at the Browns. I think the Texans are better than what we probably think. I know they lost against the Panthers, but they don't have Tyrod Taylor anymore. But the Browns, I think they get back to where I also think they try to run the football a little bit better last week. Chubb did kind of come back to form at the end of that game, but that offense with no threats at receiver, you have Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz, right? I mean,
that's what I was going to talk about.
And there's just a bunch of guys on that receiving core. Let's get Austin Hooper going, David Njoku. They seem to have issues getting tight ends going, but that could be more of a Baker issue than just that. Run the football, Brown. I think the Bears. I mean, is it in Chicago?
No, it's here in Cleveland.
It's going to be in Cleveland, so I mean, the dog pound's going to be going. Give me the Browns. Give me the Browns at home, but I will not be shocked. Will not be shocked if the Bears get the W. I just think his first game on the road at Cleveland. Give me the Browns in this one here at home.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, the value's there for this game, but I just, and Richie Cardinals making it sound, it's running game's very good at the Browns. It is good in game. I'm all in on Nick Chubb. I really am on Nick Chubb. I'm all in for him on this game, but I think if you get a bad game by Baker, you're just going to see him stack the box, and it's going to make it so tough for Nick Chubb to actually get going. Yeah,
because that Bears front's actually, they're actually really good. The Rams didn't get the running game going until the fourth quarter. Yeah. So the Bears front with Hicks there, and you also got the linebacker from Georgia, right? There's that front is going to be.
Everybody got to be from Georgia, man.
Dude, that Georgia D is. Oh my God, that D.
Hey, that Davis kid is a big man. That's all I'm going to say. That Jordan Davis is a big man.
Yeah, he is. Hey, real quick, just give me a couple minutes here. Will, Browns and Bears, what options do you have in this game? Policy for daily fantasy, because Schwartz was brought up by the guys. I mean, definitely a guy you want to look at in daily fantasy today. There's got to be some other sneaky plays here for daily fantasy. Without Jarvis Landry, I'm kind of looking at Njoku a little bit here as a possible play that's going to get some looks. So what do you got, Will?
I mean, I think the sneaky play might be the Chicago defense, honestly, in daily fantasy. I don't know what they're going for, but when you have the center and two offensive tackles that are one's out, possibly another one out, and you're the guy who runs the offensive line might be out. I mean, Browns are gonna have some issues there on that offensive line, whether it's passing, running, any of that other stuff. But I honestly think it's going to be a Montgomery day. Darnell Mooney, I think, is going to have a pretty good game because they're going to try to shut down Allen Robinson, and they're just going to, he's going to be open. But I think my best play would be Njoku if you're not going to play Chubb.
Yeah,
I think they like him. Baker's got the longest. He's got the longest time together compared to Hooper and the third guy, the third tight end, and they're not really using the two tight ends except Njoku right now.
Yeah, I like the Njoku play. Somebody that you definitely could probably rely on today without Jarvis Landry there. Definitely a good sneaky play against the Bears would be David Njoku. Moving right along, start with Trey on this one. Ravens and Lions. Why do you hate these games, Trey? You hate these games?
I hate the Lions. Well,
actually, the Lions, fantasy-wise, the Lions have been pretty damn relevant this year.
Look really good.
I mean, Goff's been putting up some decent numbers.
That's why I hate the Lions. Because at the beginning of the year, I thought they were only going to win like 2 games, and they're making me look like fools. They look good against the Packers in that first half until Jared Goff can't throw a ball in the rain. But go ahead.
Well, we're going to blame the rain. Blame it, like Milli Vanilli says, blame it on the rain when it came to that Packers and Lions.
Exactly what happened. Like right in the second half. The rain just started coming whenever Jared Goff had the ball, right? Can't happen, whatever.
Not going to happen today.
I wanted to say, and I said it on Wednesday, I think the Ravens expanded a lot of energy on that game against the Chiefs.
That was our Super Bowl, you're right.
That really was. This isn't a game. I could see the Lions pulling off an upset here, but I'm not gonna take them. Fantasy wise, everybody is on that Hollywood Brown bandwagon right now.
Yeah, he's been playing well though, Rudy. He's been playing very well. And Jeff Okudah's out, and
exactly Okudah being gone.
I'm starting Hollywood in most of all leagues that I have him because it's just he's getting the volume now, and he could be their number one guy. Bateman's out until week 8, probably week 9. So
he's actually catching.
Yeah, he's actually catching. He just looks really good out there, and against a Lions secondary, which they're going to have their hands full trying to stop the run with Williams. And Williams last week, I had him poised to score a touchdown in DraftKings. He gets to the red zone. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he fumbles the ball as he goes into the red zone. and misses up my money line. Not a great week last week for money. We're really not.
It was a bad thing, man. It was terrible. It was real terrible. Lamar's a sneaky play here as well. I don't think we're going to see Lamar have a huge game here. I think we're going to see a big game out of the running backs, whether it be Tyson Williams, whether it be I can't remember now. Not Freeman. It's it'll come back to me here in a minute. I'm sorry.
It's Williams, right?
Bell?
No, not Le'Veon Bell. Williams and Murray. Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray.
Yeah. So those two guys, I think, have a pretty good day for Baltimore today. Mark, I think Brown is going to catch a touchdown. I think streak's going to continue into this game. He's going to have a hot streak going into this game. Lions, man, DeAndre Swift, you really can't shy away from him, especially in a flex play. This is a guy that I definitely would start. He's basically doing it all.
It could be garbage time, a touchdown or two.
Yeah,
it could be down, right? So he could be a guy that plays. He did get the ball last week, though. They were down a whole lot, so the Lions had to throw the ball a whole lot. But I think the game plan is to try to get the running game going. And as I said before the season, I think the Lions, and I got scolded on this, but I think they're going to be better than what people thought. And I think the Lions will be competitive. Are they going to win 5-6 games? I don't know yet, but at least they're going to be competitive.
They're
They got the
win
Jared
more
Goff
games than
factor.
the Falcons.
Jared Goff.
Let's see. So Brandon does make a point here. Ravens missing quite a few guys on the defensive side of the ball with COVID protocol. If I'm not mistaken, they are missing a lot of defensive players on that side of the ball. Which is another reason why the Lions could be particularly good fantasy and regular this year in fantasy. I mean, daily fantasy for the Lions could be really good. I like the DeAndre Swift play. One quick note: two guys that I really like in this game that aren't getting much love is Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson. I mean, these guys, I expect them to have a decent day today. Hawkinson, especially more, seems to be Goff's, favorite weapon to get the ball to, especially with Tyrell Williams out with the injury. So yeah, this is a game that it's kind of a good one to watch. It's going to be a close one to watch on the fantasy wire as well. Colts and Titans, guys. Derrick Henry went crazy last week, and I'm going to just say this right now. I don't expect the same to happen today. Not against the Colts. I think that Derrick Henry has a decent day. He's still going to get 100+ yards. He's still going to get a touchdown, maybe 2. But I don't expect him to have a really big day. The one guy I see having a big day for the Tennessee Titans is A.J. Brown. I think this is where we see A.J. Brown get going. Julio's going to have a decent day, but A.J. Brown definitely gets going today. You're going to start Henry no matter what. On the Colts side of the ball, because the Colts are Trey's AFC Team of the Year.
I had the Titans. I think I had the Titans win that division.
Titans.
We
Okay.
didn't look at the tape, but okay.
I had the Colts
behind the glass. Where you at?
But I did
Sort of
have the
man behind the
Colts
glass.
win. I had the Colts win those wild card teams, and they could have possibly made a deep playoff run.
Okay, so I was misquoted there. He's that's their second favorite team in the AFC there. Carson Wentz with both ankles bummed out. He's actually going to play today. He's going to suit up and play. Tennessee, man, Tyler Lockett went bonkers last week again on Tennessee. Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, this is a guy where I see again could have a really big game. I'm actually starting Pittman in 2 of my fantasy leagues
for Zach Pascal. I think he can get. I think he can get loose. I think he can get loose in the secondary. This defense they're not very good right now. And the thing with playing against Seattle, you run the ball, you run right, so you get like 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards. You just keep running, and then Henry just exploded in that second half. But watch out for Pascal and Pittman, and also Naeem Hines could have a big reception game. He's had games in the past where he has like 8 to 10 receptions. Like I could see that this week against a defense that just seem to be lost. But give me the Titans this week. I just think they're going to run the ball, get physical. Julio Jones played very well. Could have had a touchdown last week if it wasn't for some weird call. But give me Titans this week, man. Run the football. Just run. And I think they're going to wear down that defense The Rams had a tough time at certain points against that defense, but the Titans a little bit more physical than the Rams.
So, go ahead, Trey.
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback on what Gio's saying. I kind of disagree a little bit. I picked the Titans, but I might go back and repick this because I think this is a must win for the Colts. I think they're gonna because they can't go down 0-4. If they go down 0-4, they're done. I mean, I think that this is a must win. I think they're gonna play with a lot more energy and more. And I think the way the Titans came back against Seattle last week, I think it might have a little hangover. I think it's gonna be closer than the experts think. I would not be shocked if the Colts win. And somehow Carson Wentz has a good game, or if whatever his name is, Eaton come in and has a good solid game as well, because that guy can throw the ball as well. But I do like. I think Henry's going to have a monster game. I do agree. I think AJ Brown's going to have a monster game as well. But I think that for some reason I think the Colts are going to come back because it's a must win. They can't go down 0-4, especially with the Titans rolling. They go up 3-1. This is a must win for the Colts. I'm almost thinking picking the Colts to win by 3. I'm almost there.
Wow. Okay. I can get behind that. Richie Cardenas said, "Great show, guys. Appreciate it, Richie. Thanks for tuning into us." This is the Fantasy Countdown, not Sweep the League, even though the title says Sweep the League. I forgot to change the title. Hey, forgive me. I make mistakes. Everybody does. This is the Fantasy Countdown brought to you by United Collision Care Center. Go see the guys over at United Collision Care Center. Luis Cabrera and all his guys out there, certified technicians that will get your car back up on the road, whether it be an accident or whatever you've got going. They'll take care of you guys out there. Also, we got to let you know we're powered by Project Spurs. Get you the best Project Spurs coverage you can get by Project Spurs. Great staff out there. Michael DeLeon definitely does a tremendous job out there with Project Spurs. Those guys are the absolute best. Not last, but next we've got DraftKings. Go get your DraftKings account set up, man. Use that promo code TBPN. Use that promo code. Get your lineups in. Get that money. They even have free games where you can make a little bit of money on. So just sign up today. Use that promo code TBPN. Last but not least, Buster.com. Use our link, www.buster.com/sweep the league. Use promo code NFL100FP till September 30th. Start your account today. Get your minimum deposit of $100 matched by them. Hey, it's $200 total for you to go gamble on Buster.com. We're moving right along here. Thank you, Wesley. Great show, guys, is what he said. The reason why it's such a great show is because of these 3 knuckleheads that I work with. I'm just the guy that makes the ball turn is it. We just got done with Colts and Titans. Now, we have the shootout game. The Chargers and Chiefs next.
Ooh,
so
I can't wait for this game.
this
I
is
can't
one
wait
game
for
where
this
we're going to
game.
go to all 3 of you guys on this one because
I cannot wait.
Can Herbert get going, please?
Herbert
He
can
did get
definitely
going.
possibly get going
No,
here.
he couldn't get in the Reds. They should have won that game against the Cowboys, honestly.
They had 2 touchdowns called back because of their stupidity on the offensive line. So
One of those
Herbert
calls
got
was
it.
a bit phantom, but whatever. I mean,
Hey, whatever.
doesn't-
We got the win. Shut up. We got the win.
whatever, man.
We're not going to go back
Whatever.
20 years. We're not going back 20 years from now and say, "Oh, that's a different call." No, we got the win, baby.
Jerry Jones is talking to the refs.
You're still
and
talking
I-
about Super Bowls from 20 years ago.
Because that's all we have our hats to hang on.
So we can talk about phantom calls. Come on.
In regular season, nah.
So everybody in fantasy world says Chiefs and Chargers. I mean, obviously Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey on the Chiefs side, Herbert, Allen, Eckler. I mean, on the Chargers side,
Oh, it's
one guy that I want to ask either one of you guys to just pick it up here. CEH fumbled the ball, and it was a big fumble. Cost him the game technically, because I mean Mahomes did have an
It did.
interception there as well. Cost him the game technically. Do they trust CEH still to be the main guy in Kansas City? Let's go. I'm going to start with Will on this. CEH, I mean, I want to play him in a couple of leagues I've got, but I'm kind of holding back. Is he safe to play today?
Yeah, I think he's safe to play. I mean, he's getting volume. He's getting touches. I mean, he fumbled. That's his first fumble in the NFL. I mean, can't over exaggerate. I mean, it was in a big time, so I mean, everyone knows about it. But I mean, it's legitimately his first fumble in the NFL. I think if you know Andy Reid, he trusts people, and he's going to trust his kid. He's going to try to get him going early to give him confidence and do what he does. I mean, he's never been a superior fantasy play. I know he had a lot of hype last year. He's above average. I mean, I got him this year. I'm playing him. I got no worries in him. I mean, I know he's not going to put up monster numbers in this game. I think this game's nothing but the passing attack and just high speed, who can score quicker and keep it going. But
all right, so the plays are all there. I mean, this is a shootout game. Let's go to Trey on this one. Trey, give me all the fantasy value you got on this game.
Oh, start everybody. Start everybody who you have. Start them. There's going to be no defense in this game whatsoever. Let's just be straight up on it. Even though the Chargers only gave the Cowboys 20 points, but the Cowboys were driving the ball in the red, like constantly throughout the rest of that game. Chargers defense is
54.5.
only 54 over. I'll take the over on that one.
Right.
But yeah, honestly, the Cowboys showed last week that you can run the ball. That's why they ran the ball a lot against this Chargers defense, because they play the two deep safeties. They don't stack the box. They don't do that. So I'll play Edmonds or whatever his name is. I can't say it today, but I like Will made a good point. Andy Reid has confidence in this guy. He's going to get the ball early and often. Look for him to go and get his confidence levels up. Andy Reid's really good about doing that, getting the confidence levels up. I want to play any defense in today's game. I'll go back and go try to find a defense, because I think this is not going to be a very good defensive battle game, especially on the Chiefs side. Chiefs defense is god awful, even though Tyrann Mathieu had 2 interceptions against the Baltimore Ravens. But then after that, they're just going to stop a cold. If you don't have Williams, go get Williams. It seems like that's Herbert's safety blanket for some odd reason in the red zone. He's going to be a good play there. Chiefs, like you said, Travis Kelce for sure. You're going to play on Hill. You're going to play. I would start Justin Herbert. I'm telling you, start everybody in this game. I think it's going to shoot out. But the Chiefs defense is going to have to show up today. The Chiefs defense is they're not going to make it back to make it back to the Super Bowl unless that defense stops the run. They can't stop the run to save their lives. So I think Eckler's going to have a good game. I think Eckler's going to have over 150 yards rushing with probably a couple touchdowns. I think that it's a must win for both teams. I mean, the Chiefs can't go down 1-2. I mean, I guess they could, but the way the Raiders are playing, I don't know. They probably can't. Play everybody. Whoever you have, start them. I mean, it's all there. I mean, there's no defense in this game.
Yeah, you heard it from Trey. Gio, Chargers, Chiefs. Oh, my.
Oh, my. In the words of the great Dick Enberg. This Chiefs defense is looking like Bob Sutton's just running it. The guy ran it before Steve Spagnuolo. This defense looked bad. And I know they got those 2 picks, but this defense, even when they won their Super Bowl, they're bend, don't break style. They're really a bend, don't break, but they seem to be breaking a lot lately. And, wow. I mean, to me, with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I feel like Andy Reid's offense has changed throughout the years. And I just don't think it's completely suitable for running the ball. I mean, Clyde's going to get his touches and all that stuff, get involved. But this game is just more predicated on passing. I mean, they run the ball a lot as well, do the shotgun. I mean, so I think Clyde could have more opportunities, maybe in a different style offense. But nonetheless, you're going to start Helaire. You're starting Hill. You're starting Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. You're starting everybody this week. And Austin Eckler can have a big week. I mean, just get him the ball. I mean, I'm taking the over here, though. I won't be surprised if it's the start of the third quarter and this game is 10-10, right? These games are so weird sometimes in this league where it could be 10-10 and the next it's like 35-35 in the fourth quarter. So give me the Chiefs. I think they bounce back this week. Chris Jones, Tyler, they need to come to play, because if they're 1-2 with the Raiders and how they're playing, Chargers are there, and don't forget about the Broncos and Teddy Bridgewater. That defense playing very well. This is going to be similar to the good old NFC West. It's going to be a tough division.
Yeah, I like this game. I like this game a lot. I mean, there's going to be points galore. I think the 54.5 is a little low, but like Gio said, man, I mean, this is a type of game where all of a sudden it's like 10-10 at halftime, and then it's 17-14, or 17-13 at the end of the third. So Patriots and Saints, we're not going to go to everybody on this one as well.
Who that?
Jameis Winston. Okay, so last week we saw the Patriots defense obviously intercept Zach Wilson. I got too many people saying Zach Wilson's trash. I told you Zach Wilson's trash. Every rookie quarterback against the Patriots defense, a Bill Belichick team, sucks. I mean, it's been obvious. It's been years in the making. So, your mic's off, Gio.
We saw Herbert last year. It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Against the
I mean,
Patriots.
everybody against them is bad. But going into this week, I don't see Jameis having that game at all. A good game at that. I mean, I think you're going to get a lot of Damian Harris and a lot of James White in this game. I think Nelson Aguilar is going to actually be a pretty good sneaky play for daily fantasy today. Mac Jones is going to be okay. He's not going to be great. The one thing that I do see is Bill's going to find a way to make Jameis win this game. So I do not like Kamara at all in this game. I think he's just going to stack the box against Kamara. He's going to play those linebackers up to where if he catches it in the backfield, it's just going to have a bunch of guys there. He's going to make Jameis make throws, and let's hope that Jameis's corrected eyesight is actually good enough to win this game. Fantasy-wise, I mean, Marcus Callaway maybe. You might see Harris maybe have a good, okay game.
What about
But
Troutman?
everything that I've liked fantasy is going to be on the Patriots sideline.
I like
So,
Nelson Aguilar this week.
yeah, Aguilar is going to be a real sneaky play, especially for like daily. Like I said, daily fantasy would be good. Let's start with Trey. Trey on Saints and Patriots. Do you like anybody on the Saints play this weekend? I mean, Kamara's the one guy, but I just don't think Bill's going to allow him to get off this week.
Yeah, you're right. Kamara is the threat. He's going to make Jameis Winston beat you, especially with that secondary over there in New England. We saw what he did with Zach Wilson last week. And just for the record, even though I called Zach Wilson a bust, I was not one of those guys who says give up on him yet. Bill Belichick, I think I said Bill Belichick makes rookie quarterbacks look like they're high school quarterbacks, and it's exactly what happened. I would play. Dang, I want to play anybody on the Saints. I'm telling you, I want to play anybody on the Saints today. I think Aguilar is going to have a good game. I think play the New England defense today. I think they're going to create a lot of turnovers with Jameis Winston. I think he's going back to the 30-30 kind of guy. I didn't like the Jameis Winston starting thing. I just because he got laser eyes, or he can look good and then he can look horribly bad. One of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and we saw that last week. Yes, I know a lot of coaches were out with COVID with the Saints and everything. So today's going to show a lot. I think with both teams, with both quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Jameis Winston, who they truly got. Aguilar, I would play Harris. I would play the Patriots defense, but that's basically all I would play in this game. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be in the low score. I think it's going to be like 2017, something on that caliber right there. I just think Bill Belichick's going to make Jameis Winston beat him, and it's not going to happen. Jameis Winston can't do it. I think they're going to take away the deep ball. They're going to make the box double team Kamara, spy on Kamara. Jameis Winston, a dual threat quarterback. So I don't trust Jameis Winston throwing the ball all over the field, especially in New England. Give me the Patriots in this one. I think they win 24-14.
There you go. All right, Gio. Patriots in Saints.
I'm not really interested in this game. I will say I put some odds in for the Patriots defense to score 2 touchdowns. Call me crazy, but I think Jameis could probably give up a few pick sixes today. It's possible if he's pressing. That's pressing. I think the odds are at what, 6,500. You can make some pretty good cash if there's 2 pick sixes today for the Patriots defense. But Jameis Winston, I called it last week. I said the Panthers will beat the Saints, and that's exactly what happened. Jameis just looked pretty regular out there. Kamara didn't have a good day, though. That Carolina defense is a lot improved. Shout out to that team for being a lot better this year. But nonetheless, I mean, you're going to start Aguilar if you're like in a 14-person league. But if you're in a 10-person league, I doubt you're starting Nelson Aguilar this week unless you really have to because you got injuries. You're going to start Kamara. I would be very wary, though, that start. I'm not always a proponent of start your studs, but The volume should be there. They should use him a whole lot this week as Bill kind of compresses that game plan. But I like the Patriots defense. This could be an interesting game this week. But if you can, maybe stay away from this for fantasy purposes. I don't know.
It's a terrible game. I mean, if you guys have bench players, you're not going to bench Kamara. I mean, let's be real. You're not benching out.
You draft him in the first round.
You draft him in the first round. So you're going to have to. But
I mean, they're going to try to throw him the ball. They're going to try to get. They're
Yeah.
going to try to get him the ball no matter what. I mean, he's going to get 20+ touches this game.
But you got to lower your expectations for him this week. I feel. I said, Bill's going to scheme for him so well. You've got to lower the expectations. This game
scheme for Taysom
That's
Hill.
why I'm saying put some money on some of the Patriots defenses to maybe score, because Jameis might press if he needs to. And we've seen in the past when he presses, pick six happen.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this game, I mean, I think I'll just take this game on my own so we can move on quickly. The next couple of games, actually. Cardinals and Jaguars. Cardinals, the only concern you have is whether DeAndre Hopkins is playing today. He's still listed as questionable. Kyler Murray has been having a field day on the NFL so far. So expect him to have the same kind of day. Chase Edmonds is probably going to get some good looks today.
I'll see you next week, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that'll be the game.
No, I can't wait for that game. I cannot wait for that game either.
Sneaky plays for me as far as the Cardinals go. I mean, probably the rookie. Is it Rondale Moore?
Yeah, he has been. He's been.
AJ Green is another play. But Kyler Murray is all in. Jacksonville side. I mean, you're going to get some garbage time. You're going to get some garbage scores from Trevor Lawrence. You're probably
Marvin Jones has played particularly well this year in fantasy. Expect a heavy usage probably of him because they're probably. I'm assuming they're going to be down this game. So Chanel, fire up the. So I think Marvin Jones could be a good sneaky, maybe 2 touchdown game from him.
And I think Chanel gets a touchdown today, a touchdown catch as well. But the one guy that you probably want to stay away from that I took out of a couple of my lineups is James Robinson. I mean, it's nothing bad against him, but I think they're going to be down so bad.
Yeah, Rudy, they haven't really used him, and they've been down so much normally that I think he's a guy that you maybe package in a trade. I just don't see much from him this year unless they can get going.
Well, this is something I'm going to bring up Wednesday on Sweep the League is the James Robinson thing. I want y'all to think about it for Wednesday. Is Urban Meyer really just like not shadowing, but throwing this guy pretty much off the pier because he knows he has Travis Etienne in the wing?
Yeah. I was fixing to ask that point. Is Etienne that valuable of a player? Because at Clemson, they're not scoring any points. Well, look, Clemson this year is not scoring any points with all the great talent that they have. When Etienne's gone. Now, Jacksonville has Etienne. Now, he's injured, and they're not scoring any points. Is Etienne really that valuable on the offensive side that they can't, like, is he what makes the motor go instead of Trevor Lawrence? I'm just saying. We'll talk about
it's because Urban Meyer's playing Alabama every week, and he doesn't know how to beat them.
I think Etienne's that guy.
Welcome to the NFL, Urban Meyer, where everyone is Alabama.
Jets and Broncos moving along. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
Can we skip this game?
We can. This is another game we can skip.
Skip to glove. Let's go.
Just remember
Broncos.
KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. I mean, these guys are going to get some good value in there. This is a game where I can see Javonte Williams actually breaking out a little bit.
How much you want to bet the Jets win this game? It's going to be one of these games where the Jets come out of nowhere.
Watch your mouth.
It could be the game where Jets somehow win the game. I don't know. But the Broncos should, and they will win. But I'm just saying, I won't be surprised.
Okay, so the only thing I want to say before I move on from this game is, Teddy Bridgewater, obviously you're going to get some value from the Broncos side. Javonte Williams should have a breakout game here. Jets side, I don't expect Zach Wilson to have another 4-pick game or anything like that. I actually expect Zach Wilson to have a decent game. I'm talking maybe 250, 275, and 2 touchdowns possibly. A couple of rushing yards in there. Corey Davis is obviously a sneaky play right here. Just you got to find a way to get him open against that Broncos secondary. But I do like some plays this week. Daily Fantasy looked really good this week. Moving along, another game that we're going to just skim right through is the Raiders and the Dolphins. Josh Jacobs, I believe, is going to be out for this game. Right now, he's still sitting where he can actually play. This is a heavy dose of Kenyon Drake, especially because he was a former Dolphin. So
It's a revenge game.
there it is. My ESPN there. Basically, Kenyon Drake. I like Kenyon Drake, especially if Jacobs doesn't play in this game. Kenyon Drake is a massive, massive play for me in this game. Raiders, Waller, Derek Carr. I mean, you want to ride the hot streak right now of Derek Carr, especially against the Dolphins. Definitely take Derek Carr. Henry Ruggs could be a decent play. Hunter Renfrow is probably my favorite play for the Raiders right now. Outside of Waller on the Miami sideline, no Tua, Jacoby Brissett.
I like Brian Edwards this week because I think the focus will be on Waller and Ruggs. And also, I think Renfrow and Edwards can get things going underneath. The Raiders couldn't really get they ran the ball, or they tried to, against that Steelers front. Wasn't extremely successful. But I think the Raiders win this game. The Raiders should win because with Jacoby Brissett back there, I believe, right, Rudy? He's going to be calling the signals there. So give it, and that defense, about time for the Raiders defense finally showing up. The past several years, they've been abysmal. Now they've greatly improved. Give me the Raiders here. They're going to continue on. And Carr, listen, if you're listening to this podcast, which I know you are, just throw the ball to Darren Waller like 20 times.
Like
should be good to go. Like game one.
Yeah. All right, guys. For the last 4 games here, we got a little bit of time left, so we got some time. Bucks and Rams. Gio's favorite game of the week. I think all of our favorite game of the week. Absolutely. Do not, in my opinion, my own personal opinion, absolutely do not start Henderson or any running back from the Rams this week. I mean,
I don't know if is he even playing this week? Because
he's
he had the ribs. Yeah,
he's questionable now.
He's questionable,
but it didn't matter. Henderson, Marshall Faulk, I don't give a damn. You're not starting.
Hey! If it was Marshall Faulk, but
you're not starting any Rams running back. This Tampa Bay defense has proven this year and lately that you just don't run against them at all. And I think Matthew Stafford has some good value in this game, but the person that I actually am leaning towards is Robert Woods. I think we're going to see a pretty good game out of Robert Woods this weekend. Tampa Bay side, man, it's the same thing. Chris Godwin's been on a tear. I don't see Godwin going off this week. Mike Evans, I see having a better week than Chris Godwin. I don't even think we see Gronk have a good game this week. I mean, the Rams defense is ridiculously good. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but for me, this is a game where I really don't take a lot of fantasy value in because it's going to be, in my opinion, a grind. It could be a shootout, but I think it's going to be more of a grind and more of a coach's game where we're going to see chess plays a lot. So you're probably going to see a lot of 3 and outs in this game. I mean, you're probably not going to move the ball a whole lot. This is a game where the kickers are probably the best value, in my opinion. Starting with Gio on this one because this is his Rams. What do we got, man?
Fire up the Rams. I was going to say fire up the cannons, but I'm not saying that. It's a big game this week. Matthew Stafford, I mean, listen, what is he, 8-68 against winning teams? I mean, that stat alone scares the living crap out of me when you are 8 wins against winning teams in his career. But
he's in Detroit. I mean, can you use that stat?
But come on, 8.
Sure.
But 8-60, but 8-68 is pretty. I mean, it's not all Lions. It's he's part of it too. But nonetheless, this is gonna be a good game. I think the Rams won't be surprised if Rams win. Won't be surprised if Tampa wins. To me, it's a toss-up game. Obviously, I'm gonna pick the Rams to win here. I think the Rams defense past 2 weeks they've been good, but they kind of cruise in control. They haven't really put that press there. I expect Jalen Ramsey to be on Evans this week. Another physical matchup. Stafford, this is what he wanted, and this is probably one of his biggest games. I know it's a week 3, week 4 a game, but it's a pretty big game against Tom Brady coming into town. This could be a preview of the championship game. Rams, don't let me down, because I know people are waiting to say rest in peace, Rams, and send me text messages all throughout the day. So
Trey Collins, Trey, give me some info on the Bucks and Rams.
Trey is going to be the first one tagging me.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this? Don't be shocked. I changed my mind. I think the Rams are going to win this game. The reason I am saying this is the way the schedule makers made this scheduling for the Buccaneers. Guess who the Buccaneers go to guess who they go to next week?
They play the spy cams.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of worried that they're going to be so hyped up about that game they're overlooking. And don't forget, Antonio Brown is out today with COVID. So that's going to the one Antonio Brown. Not Antonio. Is that his name? Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah. Why are you saying who? That guy's been great this year. God.
He don't matter.
Oh, he matters. He would have mattered in this game because of the weapons. Like you said, Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Mike Evans. You can basically knock him out of the fold in that one. They're going to put the other cornerback on Godwin, but they had extra. Then the Gronk and they had more weapons, and that's what I thought they were going to do. But with Antonio Brown being out, they can the one less weapon. But Godwin, man, he's on it. Like you said, he's on a tear. It's a contract year. He's franchise tag. It's a contract year for him. He wants to show out and prove that he's worth all the money. I think that the Buccaneers are overlooking the Rams, and I think the Rams are going to prove why they're going to be in the NFC Championship game. I don't know about Matthew Stafford. I think he hurt his little pinky finger again or whatever. I don't know.
He hit someone.
He always hurt. That's why I didn't really like this movie.
He hit a padded helmet?
Yeah, I think so, or something like that. I don't know. But he's always hurt. But
he's gonna play. He's gonna be good, I think.
I know he's gonna play, but the weapons if it turns into like a broken rib or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just always something with him. But I think the Rams are gonna. It's at home. That crowd's gonna be rocking and rolling. That I just think. I think they look at the Tom Brady. I know he doesn't look in the future. They say they take it one game at a time. He's ready for New England. He wants to go to New England. That's what he's waiting for. I think they overlooked the Rams a little bit today, and it's going to be a little too late. And I think that pass rush with Donald and company for the defensive line is going to get to Brady. They're going to make him feel uncomfortable, and I think that's going to be the issue. And I think that the Rams squeak by with a 3-point victory today.
Oh, 3. So my plus 1.5 for the Rams is looking
That's
good.
a pick 'em, dude. That's a pick 'em.
Yeah, that's a pick 'em game.
I took the Rams to win anyway this past Wednesday, so I apparently cursed them.
I'm kind of worried here because 2 people already picked the Rams, and I'm starting to feel there's a jinx coming along here. But I'll digress.
Don't worry.
All right, Will, give me a quick take on the Bucks and Rams games. It's a pretty big one here.
Tom Brady. You've got a coach on the field. He's going to put the people in the place to beat them. I think Gio Bernard's going to be a person of interest in this game. You haven't heard much from him this year, but you lost Antonio Brown. You pick up another pass catcher. I mean, come on. I think they're going to use him. Leonard Fournette's getting the start, which means absolutely nothing if you saw the game last week. Ronald Jones got the start last week, and he touched it 6 times. I think they're going to spread the ball. They're going to give it to everyone. Tom Brady's going to put everyone in position to do what he's got to do. This could be 10-10. I don't know. I mean, I think Gronk's going to get a lot of looks. I think the defense for the Rams is too good, and Tom Brady's just going to dunk and pass the ball to whoever he's got to gain 3 yards every play.
This is a grinded out game. That's why I said the fantasy value for me on this game is kind of tough right now.
Oh yeah,
Seahawks and Vikings. Dalvin Cook is still questionable, which means if he's out, I mean, you're going to see a heavy dose of Alexander Madison.
I think he's out, Rudy.
He's out. He rolled him out last night.
Oh, so everybody just screwed me. Thank God. That's why we do the show early, so that way I can change all my lines.
Seahawks get a little break here.
Oh my God! So I should have picked up Madison when I had the chance.
Hey, if this is the case, fire up those receivers with the Vikings. They're going to sling it. This is probably going to be a shootout.
The problem is
I want to mention the receiver from the previous game that I was wanted to mention afterwards with the Rams and Bucks. If you got a sneaky play, Van Jefferson in that game might get some looks because the Bucks are going to obviously key in on Higbee, Woods and Cup. This is a game where Van Jefferson,
Deshaun Jackson. Watch.
Deshaun Jackson's another
The
one.
Rams could try to really stretch out that secondary. We haven't seen a Deshaun Jackson sighting. This could be the week. And maybe Tutu Atwell. I don't know. Huh?
I said week 1 we had a sighting. Didn't he score a touchdown or something like that?
No, that was Van Jefferson. But like
I thought
just
Deshaun had like a 30-yard pass or something, some big play or something.
No, he's been pretty quiet. So maybe this is a week where Sean dials it up for Deshaun to get loose because we saw Deshaun against the Cowboys in that practice. He got loose, so he can still burn it up.
That was a Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I like the receivers. I do like the receivers. Actually, I like the receivers on both ends of the ball here for the Seahawks and the Vikings. Chris Carson, very good play, I think, for here. Obviously, the both quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins, decent plays here. There's a lot of fantasy value here. I don't think defensively you're going to see probably much of any ball stopping in this at all. I do like the scoring in this, but again, with Dalvin Cook now ruled out, Alexander Mattison's going to have a heavy dose of carries. He's going to actually catch out of the backfield. I think like that. I'm going to let you guys think on this
DK
one.
Metcalf active.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Let you guys take over here. Trey, take over the Seahawks and Vikings. I got to make a quick phone call. Be right back, guys.
Of course, he always leaves us. Anyway, this game, can we get some Tyler Lockett some love, man? Is he back to being number 1 wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks? It seems like he's been having a lot of big games. Dude, he's been
Let him
showing
be
out
number 2. Yeah, that's because he's number 2.
He's a number 2 guy there.
Well, I know he is, but I'm just saying he's been balling out. He could be a sneaky play as well. DK Metcalf, like you said, I don't know where he's been. He's been MIA a lot. I know he's probably been double teamed and stuff like that. But like Rudy said, no defense. No defense in this game whatsoever. Kirk Cousins, I think Jefferson's going to have a good game. I think Thielen's going to be a red zone opportunity. You can see Thielen's always a big threat in the red zone. He seems like he always knows where to get open in the end zone when they're in the red zone. But Dalvin Cook, I just don't think that Dalvin Cook is him playing. I don't think that's going to open up. They're not going to stack the box. They're going to play coverage. I think they're going to take a lot of the passing out, and Kirk Cousins is going to have to beat you, and that's hard to do because Kirk Cousins has proven he can't beat you just solely by himself, throwing the ball all over the field. So giving the Seahawks in this, I think Russell Wilson, I think they're angry after giving up a 14-point loss. I think that the Seahawks come back, and I think they give Mike Zimmer an 0-4 and get Mike Zimmer on the hot seat and hopefully get fired after this week.
Ooh,
but
0-3, not good.
Yeah, I don't think it's good for the Vikings fans. Though Viking fans seem to, some of them still love Mike Zimmer. A lot of them don't want him there. But another name to watch out for at receiver, watch out for KJ Osborne for the Vikings. Past 2 weeks, fantasy. He has played actually very, very well. And as this game, you expect Seattle to really put points on the board this week, continuing what they did the past few weeks. So the Vikings could be kind of pressed to throw. Could be a lot of opportunities for Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and also KJ there. So, and the running back position for this week, I've noticed that Alexander Mattison, when Cook is out, doesn't always he steps up to a certain extent, but not that number 1 guy that you want to see. So just be wary, though. That Seattle defense, we saw what happened. He's not an every down back, but KJ Osborne, Rudy, he could be a sneaky pick for fantasy for DraftKings because the past 2 weeks he's had about 10 targets in both games, so he's getting some volume there.
Yeah, KJ Osborne was a guy that I was looking at this week too. Definitely a sneaky play. I like him, especially if I'm going to go daily fantasy. I like he's really cheap right now. Actually, I was looking him up a little while ago. I'll get the price here in a minute. But yeah, Osborne's definitely a guy you definitely want to look at. Last couple of games here, guys. 49ers and Packers. This is kind of weird because on the line, it had, when I actually took the game, I took the Packers +3. And they actually were good on the money line. I think at +180, I believe, on Buster.com. I actually took that game. I get why you kind of stay away from this game, and I get why the 49ers are favored in this game. But
How are they
what
favored?
I don't get is, to me, that's a
Oof.
little disrespectful to a Packers team that is a lot better, even though it was against Detroit, a lot better than what they were showing. The 49ers are not great, in my opinion. You're out all these running backs. You get Trey Sermon back.
Well, Trey,
But the-
listen, this could be a game where Trey Sermon scores 3 touchdowns for all we know.
Mhm.
It could be a game where the 49ers run. We saw what happened a few years ago in that NFC Championship game, though I think obviously the teams are completely different. But give me the Packers this game, but the 49ers, Trey Sermon, if anyone's a gambling man, I would put some money on potentially him scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns. I know it sounds crazy, but the 49ers and how they run the football. I mean, Jermichael Hasty scored a touchdown, right? Like, it's just their running backs score touchdowns. And I'm going to put some props up there for him to score maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns this week. But give me the Packers, man. Aaron Rodgers. Hippie Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, good Lord.
Hippie Aaron Rodgers. Hippie.
Good
Because
freaking Lord.
he's been looking real hippie-ish lately.
Oh, here we go.
All right, Trey. We love you, man. We love you so much. Give us the reason why
man.
you are hating on the Pack.
Well, for one, we saw what he did in week 1. They were god off. I know it was week 1, but whatever. And then second week, he wasn't really. Aaron Rodgers was not that impressive against a crappy Detroit Lion team. Detroit Lions were for the Green Bay Packers defense sucks. The Detroit Lions were running up and down that field all game long until Jared Goff has slippery hands and can't hold on to the freaking ball. Let's not forget that. What's one way you beat the freaking Packers? Pound them in the mouth. And like you said, Trey Sermon is going to have a monster. I think he's going to have a good game today. I think Gio said he's going to have. Maybe, don't be surprised if he has 3 touchdowns. George Kittle's going to play an X factor in this game as well. I think that he's going to show up. That defense sucks for the Packers. The 49ers have the Packers number for whatever reason it is. I don't care who's that running back or not. They're going to pound him in the mouth. Shanahan's going to have a great game plan. I just don't trust the Packers are back. I just don't. I think that they have one foot out the door with all these guys with Devontae Adams and Rodgers are already looking up next year and what they're going to do and everything. It seems like Rodgers really isn't into it, even in his interviews and everything. Just doesn't really care. I just don't. They beat the Detroit Lions. Yeah, you beat a crappy team who's probably going to win 2 games this year. Good job, guys, at Lambeau Field. Good job. Proud of y'all. I am hating. I think the 49, the West, the NFC West is dominant. I think they're proving why, and I think they're going to prove it again tonight on Sunday Night Football with Carrie Underwood singing that great song. And after that, that's all you're going to have to watch because this game's going to be a blowout. I think the 49ers are going to win by 15 points, man. The Packers cannot. The 49ers kryptonite for Aaron Rodgers. Pound him in the mouth. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. I could be wrong, and I probably am going to be wrong, but that's just the way I feel. It's Sunday. I wanted to preach a little bit.
We just lost all of our Packer fans. Thanks, Trey.
I don't care. Packer fans are more annoying than Cowboy fans.
Whoa.
Man, he just went real bad. That's hard to do.
Wow.
It's true. Oh, we're going to win it this year. This is our year. Okay, then they choke in the NFC playoff game every time. Aaron Rodgers, he won 1 NFC championship game.
But they're making the playoffs.
Who cares if you make the playoffs? Good job. Now you get a crappy draft pick and you don't win the Super Bowl. Good job. And then you piss off Aaron Rodgers because you can't get a good wide receiver.
So that's why the Cowboys don't make the playoffs because they want better.
Exactly.
Draft
If we're not going to win the Super Bowl, screw it.
I mean, to be fair, well, the Packers
Every
could
year
have
you win the
drafted
Super Bowl.
the Packers could have drafted Justin Jefferson.
It could have, but they didn't. But that's neither here or there.
So,
But
all right, I got a serious question. What you guys are
That would've
telling
been
me
a
is
good
I should
candidate.
not play Mike Davis and I should play Trey Sermon is what you guys are telling me.
yes.
Well,
Listen,
play Mike Davis.
Wait,
You play Mike Davis.
I think you play Mike
Play
Davis,
Trey
but
Sermon,
I'm just saying though,
That
the
40
49ers, I saw it last year. Don't throw somebody out there and get Jermichael Hasty scored 3 touchdowns for me last year in 1 game in some random just pickup. I'm just saying Trey Sermon could potentially get 2 touchdowns. 3 would be kind of crazy, but I'm going to put some money on it because I think it's a good possibility.
Then
49ers
give me
run a-
Ayuk. Somebody.
Speaking of Brennan, I was big on him before the draft. And
Me too. He's a
there's,
bust.
I think there's an issue with
A
him.
little
and
early for that, but
Kyle Shanahan. I think there's something going on there that I don't think we know, but
Look, let me give everybody an idea here. I'm on Buster.com. I'm placing my bets right now. I'm doing a $1 bet. $1 bet. If I hit, I get $45 because I'm taking a mega 5-team parlay here. I'm taking Detroit Lions plus 7.5. I'm taking the Chargers plus 7. I'm taking the Bears plus 7.5. I'm taking the Jets plus 10. And I'm taking this next game, Eagles plus 3.5.
Oh, you're
So
crazy.
on my dollar bet, I can make $45, almost $50 off a dollar bet on that. I kind of like my underdog parlays this week. The only one that actually scares the crap out of me is probably that Jets plus 10. Because I think it could be, 12-point win by the Broncos or something. But
That's
10
the only
points
game
on
in
any
double
NFL
digits
game.
this week.
It's double digits. I mean, you can't give, double digit, odds on a lot of these games, no matter who it is. But
last week
Just
there were
an
what,
idea.
3 double digit games. This week there's only 1. Like that's crazy to me.
yeah. So
Like,
my
dude,
scary game was the Eagles and Cowboys, which is the last game we're going to cover here. Eagles and Cowboys. Jalen Hurts, you play him. You just play him. Miles Sanders, you play him. Devontae Smith, you play him. Dallas Goedert, you play him. Let's flip the ball here. Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, you play him. Dak Prescott, you play him. You got CeeDee Lamb, you play him. Everybody is a play, I think, for Cowboys and Eagles. I think this is going to be a really good game. I hope the Eagles win. I hope the Cowboys win by 3 because I still cover since I get that half point. But I think on fantasy wise, this is a game on Monday night that's going to be really good. I think it's going to be, 28-24, 33-31. I mean, something like that. I mean, it's going to be a good game regardless. I'm going to save Trey for last because this is his team. It's America's team. It's Kerrville's team. The Dallas Cowboys will fantasy values on this team right here, on this game right here.
I believe you forgot to name someone on the Cowboys team again.
Well, Mark
Dak.
Mr. Pollard.
Pollard's, yeah.
That's exactly who I was going with.
Come on. I mean, last week I said the same thing. I think he's going to be the key to win, and he played. He came to win. Like he changes the pace of the game for the running backs. I mean, I'm not saying that Zeke can't do it, but Zeke comes in with the mindset to do this, this, and this, and then they bring in Pollard that changes the speed, changes everything. This game, I grew up in Texas. Come on, we all have. This is one of those games. It could be 10-7 or it could be 30-25. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. This is one of those dirty rivalries. They're in Dallas. Jalen's trying to put his foot down, put him on the map. I mean, he's just playing amazing. He's a dual threat quarterback. I think he's going to have a great game on the ground. I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for the Cowboys defense. I think Micah Parsons is going to be I'd love to see him spy Jalen Hurts this game just to make him have some issues. Watkins for Philly, I think, still going to play pretty strong. I know he's gotten some his stats are a little deceiving, but I mean, I think he's going to actually get some volume in this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like everybody. I like all the plays in this game. I mean, I really like the way Jalen Hurts has been playing. But you're right. Pollard is a really good play. It's a play that you may want to use him. He's definitely a flex option. I mean, he's not going to be an RB1, RB2 on your team, but definitely a flex option, especially in this game. Pollard's a great play. Trey, give everybody your highest, most wisdom when it comes to Cowboys and Eagles on fantasy.
Well, first off, hats off to ESPN for finally having a good Monday night game, right? I mean,
because the first 2 have been horrible. They've been good Monday night games.
Last week was horrible. Last week, the first week's always good in a Monday Night Football game, right? Like the first one's always a good showcase.
But it's usually a doubleheader too.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off this year. I was like, no doubleheader, but the season goes on. It's like the Jets and the Jaguars or someone like that, right? So first off, I don't know who if I'm going to watch the regular telecast or I'm going to watch the Manning Brothers, because the Manning Brothers give me deep insight in the game and what's going on. I really enjoy watching the Manning Brothers on ESPN2. But let's digress. The Eagles have overperformed this first couple of weeks. I don't think they're a very good team. I think Jalen Hurts. There's no tape on Jalen Hurts to say much. Not much tape on Jalen Hurts. I think as the season goes along, I think they're going to get tape, and I think he's going to digress a little bit there. But you said it. The Cowboys. Dan Quinn, Rudy's favorite head coach, has found something in this defense. Like, he's a great defensive coordinator, and he's not making it hard for these. Hey, man, it's Sunday. You need to go to church. Anyway,
Wednesday.
One time a week's good for Rudy. No, but Will said something about spying Jalen Hurts. I think they need to put Michael Parsons in the dip of the rushing attack like they did last week. That guy is a ball hawker, man. He was in the backfield almost every single play against Justin Herbert. With them shorthanded on defensive line, yeah, they get Randy Gregory back and everything, but then they still don't have Tank Lawrence. They don't have some other players as well. But the Cowboys, I know everyone says this, and I'm not one of these Cowboy fans that said we're going to win the Super Bowl, and I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl this year after a big win. But there's something different about this team this year that just seems like they're more – like they're better than what they have been. It seems like they're more – like they don't need their defense to be the number 5 ranked defense in the league. They only need to be mediocre. With that offense at the Cowboys, they can score with anybody. You saw it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have weapons all over the field. You have Dak Prescott. You have Zeke Elliott. I'm with you, Will. I like Tony Pollard. I didn't want to sign Zeke. I did not want to sign Zeke to that massive contract because we had Tony Pollard. So I think Tony Pollard makes that offense go. I think they get more energized when he's there. Zeke is a better pass blocker, whenever you need him to stop the blitz and stuff. But Tony Pollard, he can get the screen. He's fast. He's a punt returner. He can do a lot. You can put him in a slide. You can do every different thing. Tony Pollard is going to be the X factor in this game. But I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a good game for Dak Prescott. First home game for Dak Prescott since that massive injury that he had against the Giants in Week 5 last year. So I think the crowd's going to be hyped. I think he's going to be hyped. I think everyone's going to be hyped. But that could be a curse too, because you could be overhyped and the Eagles can come in and before you know you're down 14-0 or whatever the case may be, you're playing catch up and the running game is no longer a part of the plan. So I'll look for the Cowboys to take control, run the ball, use Zeke, use Pollard, and then open up the passing lanes for Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. That other wide receiver, I forgot, Gallup's out. So was it Nix that's filling in for him, or I forgot his name.
Cedric Wilson.
Wilson, that's who I'm thinking of. Wilson. He's shown this team has a lot of good wide receivers. I just think that the Cowboys are going to be too much. First home game, I think this Cowboys team is for real. I actually think they can make it to the NFC Championship game if everything goes their way. I give me the Cowboys in this one. Take full possession of first place in the NFC East, and everyone's calling it the NFC East. This division is actually going to be better than last year. This division actually is a lot better than last year. Eagles are on the rise. Giants are not that bad of a team if they can stop getting their own way. I mean, they could be 1-1 if they weren't half a head offsides on that field goal against Washington. So this division's a lot better, but I think the Cowboys are the superior team in this. I think they're more of a better team than the Washington Redskins defense on paper is a lot better than the Cowboys team, but the offense for the Cowboys is a lot better, and the Cowboys defense is a lot better than it was last year. That's not saying much because they were horrific last year, but the Cowboys defense, if they can just be 15 to 10 range, look for the Dallas Cowboys make some noise. Look for them to make noise Monday night. I think this is going to be a good game. That Jerry World's going to be rocking and rolling. Jerry Jones is happy because his Arkansas Razorbacks won. It's going to be a good weekend for the Jones family. Give me the Cowboys by 10 points.
There you go. I told you. Trey can tell you all everything you know about the Cowboys.
So
even if he remembers that far back when they won their Super Bowl.
Oh, I have a question then.
I was 9 years old when they lost Super Bowl.
Is Hurts going to be the new version of Lamar Jackson? Nothing but a great season. No. You don't think he's good enough to be a great season quarterback, but if he ever gets to the playoffs, just show?
I don't think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Fame kind of quarterback.
Well,
I didn't
Well, I
say
guess
Hall of
what I
Fame.
will-
I
will
said
say
like
this, I
Lamar
will say-
Jackson.
But
Yeah, like,
I don't think Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback.
He's a
Well,
great regular season quarterback.
No, he's not.
That's all I'm asking.
No, he's not. He's a good running back. That's all he is. He cannot
The
consistently
thing
throw
with,
the accurate ball.
The thing with Lamar Jackson is this: is I told everybody last year, Lamar, brilliant season, everybody's hyped up, all this other junk, whatever. It takes a year for DCs to scheme for a quarterback. You're gonna have Lamar Jackson come in, you're gonna have him dominate, he's gonna put up all these numbers. You need to take a year for a DC to actually scheme for a QB. Now that they have that year, same reason why Patrick Mahomes isn't having a good start to the year per se. I mean, Mahomes is the most dominant quarterback in the game. You could not scheme for the guy his first full year. You didn't know what to expect. Andy Reid is one of those coaches who's a quarterback whisperer. But now that you have defensive coordinators able to pinpoint what to do, how to stop him, do this, do that, it's going to make him look a little bit better. Tom Brady doesn't have, tremendous seasons year in and year out, but he always has to evolve. Same thing with Lamar. Lamar, brilliant season, but now that you've had an entire season to scheme for him, he's going to have his struggles.
Too.
And Jalen Hurts is another guy. He's going to have a good season until next year, where I think you're going to have better schemes from defensive coordinators to stop him. But that's where the involvement comes in. You have to evolve into a better QB. You have to be able to, okay, they're starting to do this on me now, so I need to figure out how to get from point A to point B. I think Hurts is going to be beneficial for the Eagles. He's going to have a good season. He's going to have good seasons after this. So I don't know. I mean,
he's already thrown it 60 times in 2 games. For a running quarterback, that's a lot of passes.
Yeah.
I don't consider Jalen Hurts a running quarterback. He will run, but he actually wants to throw the ball. Like I was wrong on Jalen Hurts. He throws a beautiful slant pattern. He throws a beautiful, accurate slant route every single time.
I'm just saying.
And then the deep ball, he throws a lot better ball than Lamar Jackson. But I don't think he's going to be wildly accurate enough to be a great quarterback in this league. And I think once, like Rudy said, once you get tape on him about 7th week of the season, I think he's going to come back down to earth, and I think he's not going to be that good of a quarterback.
But in this division, week 7 could be too late to be trying to win the division. I
don't have him win the division at all.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm comparing Jalen Hurts and how well he's playing. No one really has a whole lot of tape on him. Here we are. Can he be a great regular season quarterback this year, and then possibly win the division out of nowhere in this division?
Could.
I mean, anything's possible. And then goes to the playoffs and just gets rolled. I mean, Washington's defense, everyone's high on Washington this year, and look at them. Their defense has been playing flat. Everyone's got similar records already, 1-1. I mean, this could be where Philly steps up and puts Dallas in the hole early, and it's just a legitimate question with Jalen Hurts playing as efficient as he is. I mean, he's thrown it 60 times. He has no picks. He's ran it 17 times. He's got 150 yards on the ground. I mean, it's just a legitimate question with this division. Could he take over the division with what little game tape is on him?
I guess we'll have to see. I just don't trust the whole team behind Jalen Hurts. But yeah, you could be right about him. But
no, I don't trust the team either. But I feel like Philly is very similar to Baltimore. Not a whole lot of team outside of the run game in Baltimore. Outside of that, but wide receivers, nothing great, nothing fancy. I mean, this division's always comes down to the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's interesting to see how Jalen Hurts is going to actually evolve. I mean, I think he's going to be beneficial for the Eagles. He's going to be their quarterback, obviously, for years to come. But it's just the scheme part. I mean, you got to take a whole year to scheme on players, and that's what a lot of defensive coordinators do. We are out of time. Project Spurs powers us. Obviously, Project Spurs, DraftKings. Go to DraftKings, use the promo code TBPN. Get your DraftKings lineups in. The games are about to start in about less than an hour and a half. Buster.com, www.buster.com/sweep the league. Use that link, sign up, get your account today. Use promo code NFL100FP to get your account started deposit a minimum of $100, they will match that $100 deposit on Buster.com. Last but not least, the Fantasy Countdown Sweep the League. Sweep the League Radio starts October 17th from 7 to 9 p.m. All of it's brought to you by United Collision Care Center, the absolute best body shop in San Antonio. United Collision Care Center. All your window needs, all your body shop repair needs, go see the guys at United Collision Care Center. Luis Cabrera and his guys out there will take care of you. We're done here at the Fantasy Countdown. Myself and some 6'9", 6'8" giant will be out at the San Antonio Collectors Expo today, about 12:15 to about maybe 2 o'clock. We'll see you guys out there at the Shrine Auditorium out there for the San Antonio Collectors Expo. If you know who that guy is, tell him hi. Take a picture with them. You're just gonna have to back up because, like I said, when I talk to Derek and I meet him in person, my head's at his belly button, and it's not even cool at all. So as we can say, till next time, good luck on the games. Fantasy Countdown, where we make fantasy wins a reality. For Trey Collis, Will Haverland, Coach Gio, who bounced early because he's got a Tinder date, from what I understand. This is Rudy Campos Jr. We will see you guys next week.